I don't think people will believe it, but I think it's self-taught. I don't think confidence is something that you are born with. I don't think confidence it's a skill set. And I had no confidence growing up. As a child, I had very low self-esteem. I was gawky as a teenager. I lived in America. I was made to feel conscious about the fact that I was Indian. That was weird at that time. And not by everyone, but just by like a few bullies in school that hated me. And high school's hard for everyone. But so I was in a very weird sort of teenage place. And when Miss India happened, I'm inherently competitive. I think the fact that I was competitive pushed me to teach myself to be confident. Initially, I faked it till I made it. I was just like, I'm not going to let anyone see that I'm scared, or I'm not going to let anyone see that I'm affected. And over time, I realized, like, as a woman, as a girl in this world, if I allow myself to be hurt, or if I allow myself to be affected, that's all I'm going to be. And I'm not, trying to say that it's an issue that just women have. It's not easy to be a woman in show business, and especially a woman who's opinionated, especially someone who I'm sort of like, and I wasn't like that from the beginning. I sort of learned. So confidence is something I taught myself over the years. I started becoming okay with who I am. I became the best version of me. And then I sort of said, I'm okay, I'm all right. Even if someone else thinks this, I'm okay. And everyone can do that. People just don't realize it. I was always creative in school, but I didn't know what to do with it. I used to write, I did plays, I would do school, but my aspiration was never to be creative. And now that I found this vocation, I'm producing, I write columns, my creativity comes out in whatever way it can. And I think somehow something guides you. What that is, I don't know. I don't have a name for it. I don't think it's a religion. I don't know if it's God. I don't know what it is. But I think something is bigger than us. And I believe in that. Well, when I became Miss India, I sort of was on strange ground myself, because I was in college, I was studying, and now I'm suddenly Miss World, and I was traveling all over the world, being an ambassador. And suddenly movie offers started coming to me from India, because I think producers thought that it would make business sense to, have a Miss World in a movie. And I guess it did, because in my second films, like I won a lot of awards. I didn't think I could act. I just went in there with the idea of, okay, I can learn a new skill set. I may not know what acting is about, but I can learn. So that's how I taught myself. I've never been to film school. I've taught my career has been my film school. I've fallen down, I've dusted myself off. I've been okay to fail. I don't like failure. I'll never let the same failure happen to me again, because I learn from it. I like knowledge. I like learning from the people around me. And I don't think anyone reaches a point, no matter how successful you are in life, where you can't learn something new. And I think that sort of got me to where I am. And that's been a big part of my work ethic. I remember when no one wanted to ask me a thing. And I get that. I remember when, and I still am, like sometimes there's so many fights that I do, but I remember when nobody wanted my opinion. Or I remember when I had to work on, when I was just the side chick to the guy, and I had to work and do small but important, significant parts to prove that I can and I will, and then triumph. So no one can be that. You can't be like, oh, destiny's gonna knock on my door one day. No, it won't. You have to be able to recognize opportunities. Because there'll be a lot of them that come into your life. And once you recognize an opportunity, you have to seize the day and work bloody hard, because there'll be 25 other people who want to do it. I was told that I won it because of confidence, because I asked later, there were so many more beautiful women than me. But of course, I was curious. I was like, what was it? And they were like, just you, when you speak, you're just eloquent and confident. And and I was 18, and I realized how important it was. I mean, I was Miss World at 18, just because I was confident. So it made me understand that confidence truly is the key to getting ahead in life. If you believe in yourself, the world will believe in you, because perception is reality. I started working when I was 17 years old, and I remember my mother telling me this really young, that women should be financially independent. It doesn't matter who your father is. It doesn't matter who your husband is going to be. It doesn't matter who your brother is. It doesn't matter who the man in your life is. You need to be responsible for your finances and be financially independent. And that kind of really stuck with me. And as my career expanded, it was really important for me to invest in little things. So once I discovered tech, I have always been a fan of technology. I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer at one point. I wanted to build rockets. I wanted to, go to space. Ladies, no one is going to give that to you. No one is going to tell you, here's an opportunity, go make something of yourself. You're going to do it for you, because people are only going to try and take it away. And it's so important for us to be able to empower each other in everyday life. We don't have to conquer the world. You don't have to be the only person who reaches space. Like, you don't have to have crazy wild ambitions. You just have to find your power and to say that, oh, I can do this too. I don't have to create like this crazy opportunity for me to thrive. You can thrive in anything you choose. Just have to find that confidence within yourself.
And how do you find that confidence?
By telling yourself that your flaws are fine. Each one of us is flawed. No one is perfect. None of us. We all have bad days. We're all gonna feel like sometimes. Sorry for my French. Feel like bad sometimes.
We're on the internet. We can say what we want.
Okay, great. But you're all gonna have bad days, and that's fine. We have this crazy standard, especially with the internet, where everything has to be perfect all the time, and we have to look perfect, we have to behave perfect, we have to say the right things. Everyone screws up, and that's all right. You laugh through it, don't take yourself too seriously, and make sure that you don't live for someone else's validation. It's your validation that you need. So every generation of women somehow has to fight for the right of empowerment for the next generation of women. How many of you drive? Do you remember there was a time when women couldn't? Today, we don't even think about it because those women fought for us. So how many of us vote as females?
Put your hands up.
There was a time we couldn't. Now we don't even think about it. So we, as women, everyone in this room and everyone in this world has a responsibility to our future daughter, to our future granddaughter, to change the world in a way where they don't have to think about lack of opportunity. They don't have to think about diversity. Diversity shouldn't even be a conversation. It should be normal. When we look around this room, there's not one kind of person. I don't even see one kind of person in one row. And that's our normal. And that's the world we will create for our daughters, for our kids. We will create men that empower the girls around them. We will create men that respect the girls around them and create a legacy for their children going forward. And I think that's our responsibility, and we need to take that really, really seriously. It's fine to like someone appreciating you. It's fine to have, a guy or a girl or whoever is in your life telling you that you're beautiful. I love it when I'm told I'm beautiful or I'm feeling myself. It's great to hear that.
Should we tell you? Okay, let's tell her.
And I'm saying it's fine. Don't let anyone tell you that that's not okay. That's fine too, but that's not what your validation should be. That's a bonus. Your validation should be this spring in your step when you walk out of the door because you feel good. And even if you don't, that's fine too. I think travel and meeting different people of different ethnicities and different parts of the world is so important to expand our minds. Even if you just are interested in different countries, or what kind of music people like to listen to, or what are the stories, or just being curious about different cultures instead of being scared of them. Like, I think we're living in a world where we're so afraid of different that when something is different, we'd rather not be curious. We'd rather be like, all right, I don't want to offend someone, or I don't want to say something wrong. Instead of being curious and saying, well, what is your name? And where do you come from? And what do you like? I would love to see beauty that's what inclusivity to me is. Not just seeing different races on a billboard, but actually getting to know different people, actually understanding what different people might be like. We've forgotten that eventually we're all human. It's this one little planet that we have, which in this big universe is really tiny.
So we should stop giving ourselves so much importance and saying, oh, well, you're better than me or I'm better than you. We all are basically humanity. And let's go back to that and bring compassion and kindness into beauty and not be so hard on ourselves or other people.